Welcome back to Wrestling with Ski. I still hate that thing. I am Ski. He's not saying that he's Justin, so
I heard the sound go out, so I just wanted to make sure everything was okay.
don't worry. I
All,
just
all
took a
I
nice.
all I heard, all I saw was mouth movement and no sound coming
Oh,
out.
that's
I'm
reassuring.
Justin, by the way.
That's reassuring. Yeah. First, the tirade. Holding on to this one for a while, which is probably even worse. But for all of you people who like to rag on me, say why you do a wrestling show if you hate wrestling so much. Because they're half glass full people. Guess what? Ratings and overall anyone giving a flying about the product has been dead since like 2016, 2017. They got glass half full for many years. I'm sorry. I actually love wrestling more than any half glass full piles of dog shit. They're what it's going to get better. It's going to be better. When the is it going to get better? I've been waiting for 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know how many years I've been waiting. But I'm sorry if that means that I hate it because I actually don't want to just keep going. Oh, it'll get better sooner or later. It's been 5, 6 years. So just because I love it more than you do, and I know that they can do a lot better, and Triple H saying fans ruin it for themselves. No, how about you stupid sacks of shit that write the stuff or ruin it for your goddamn selves? Because I don't, I can go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks without watching it, and I can still turn on a pay per view and tell you exactly what the is going to happen without watching anything. I'm sorry. I've been able to do that for 5 or 6 years. That is a problem. And if you're okay with that, you are part of the problem. Okay? But I love it more than you do. Take it personally. I don't give a shit. I gave them the benefit of the doubt for a long time. And now tonight, for the love of Christ, after they just fired, I don't know, Braun, Alistair, the whole Joe thing coming back. But, that so that Eva Marie, who couldn't even do a basic bump when she left the company after getting one-on-one personal training from the Brian Kendrick, don't forget the, and she still sucked that bad when those guys were literally working other jobs, scraping by, trying to learn how to do it. They were still better than she was on their first day after getting one-on-one training. And she's going to get put over by Naomi tonight. Guaranteed it. That's why we all hate it. I love it to death, but I hate what they are doing to it.
Yeah.
Which is why the ratings were up over 4 million in 2017, and now they're barely clearing 1 for their flagship show. For the love of God.
But the question is, which one's the flagship show now?
Guess what? Ask Vince. It's still Raw. I mean, hell, NXT has sucked so bad, like their ratings are lower than like anything. Like since they moved to Tuesday night, it has been a complete and utter shit show.
I mean,
takeovers are always good. That is like,
oh yeah.
Doesn't matter how did stand and deliver. And then they stopped delivering for a very long time. I'm sorry, takeovers are good. They did some good stuff, but most of the time you're really watching it going, why am I like, why? Sorry, not sorry. When Roman Reigns is the best thing but he's in 5 of the 8 segments on SmackDown, and he is the best thing you have going in the whole entire company. I'm sorry, hate to break you. You have a very large problem.
Yeah, considering SmackDown only has like
20,
I think it was between 20 and 27 active wrestlers on the roster. Just SmackDown. That's like a family get together.
And the guys is doing 5 to 8 of the segments with that many people on there. Him and the whole thing, him, Jimmy J, Heyman, like they're all doing most of the show. Like, and that tells you just how good everything else is. When Roman Reigns is getting the whole show.
You've basically got a quarter of your guys on the show, basically. You've got those 3. Then you've got Owens and Sammy. You've got Nakamura and Corbin. Then you've got Rollins and Cesaro. And that's it. And a really crappy depleted women's tag team division. I think they have
even worse.
Yeah. Like,
how is that possible? I don't know, but they made it in worse.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying. But yes, I've been holding. See, you didn't have to adult this. This is just bent up. Just don't ever wake me up telling me that you don't understand why I have a wrestling show if I hate it. You have glass full cocks and piles of excrement or expletive. There we go. You guys are why it is where it is, because there's that many people that are just like, screw it, it'll get better. You know what? Their
Yeah.
ratings over the last 4 years say that pretty much roughly 3+ million people feel exactly like I do, and Justin do, and a lot of the people there do, compared to the 1.3 million that they drew on Raw, like the worst Raw ever last week.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, you're the problem, not us. Why? Because we all gave up because we're tired of the same shit, different day, and I should not be able to not watch for months on end and tell
Yeah.
you what's going to happen. It's that bad. Sorry. We're all fans ruin it. No, we actually go, they could do this, they could do this, they could do this, and then they do that, which I don't know, every wrestling fan on the planet saw coming. That's why we hate it. Wonder why the Attitude Era and all that was really good? Because you didn't know what the was going on, because the writing was actually on point. People would be able to be themselves, and everything was good.
And it's not just not to lay the blame elsewhere. It's the day and age we are in now. Everybody gets butthurt easily. Can you imagine? Prime example: Katie Vick, Triple H segment in a funeral home with a wrestler laying over a dead cheerleader body, doing what he did right now. Where would that lawsuit? I'm telling you right now, everyone would be so offended. It's not just Vince's fault. It's not the creative's fault. It's the fault of society in a sense, because everybody just can't have a good laugh anymore without being butthurt.
What was their excuse in 2017?
The
world didn't get this shitty until like last year.
The way society has changed
in the last year. It's been a year and a half or so since we got really stupid.
I mean, it's over time. We've got people, not to go on a political rant, we've got like a month for every kind of like different thing we're celebrating. And because everybody wants to feel equal. I mean, if not to go off on a tangent, but if we had a white pride month, oh my God, there'd be pitchforks and torches and people getting offended. If everyone, it's like a participation trophy.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I have a great example to prove that, yes, this started way before everyone started being such pussies 2 years ago. Festival of Friendship. They go and break that up. And instead of letting two guys that can actually wrestle have the belt into Mania, they put the bitch on Goldberg just so they. There we go. That's when the world gave up on it. It's like Seth cashed in. No one saw it coming. Literally, there's your tagline from last year. No one saw it coming. And then we went to just give it to Goldberg. What you just squashed Kevin. Just 1, 2, skip a few, done. When they actually deserve the belt. Or I don't know. Hold on. What was that shit last year? Fastlane. Hold on. Can't quite put my finger on who they put over that night. When they murdered a certain recently resurrected man in a mask. What was it? What was it, like 2, 3 spears? Done. Built all that up. Yeah, that mother trucker. Like, that's what they've been doing, which is what's pissing off all the actual wrestling fans.
Yeah.
What about you have something certain, like they built a Festival of Friendship, they built those two in the list so long, and then they got to the starting gate and they're like that idiot that you see in like the videos that just trip when they're about to win a marathon. Yay! And they eat shit. Like, that's pretty much what WWE has been doing.
Oh, it's not even that. It's at the starting line where they're both tied. Their two ankles are tied together and it's over.
Like, but there was so much good going. It was going, and then Goldberg. For no reason. Like, he's done it twice now. So yes.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I read another article when Triple H talks about guys coming to the main roster and things not panning out.
Getting shit on, like all of them?
Some don't pan out. Some.
All, pretty much.
I mean, look, let's see here. Who's still in the main roster came from NXT? Corbin, Shinsuke, Cesaro, Seth.
Usos.
Yeah, Usos. I mean,
right.
Yeah, they fit the mold, and they've pushed themselves to keep creating opportunities. Some people, some wrestlers are content with staying
Yeah,
in
well,
NXT, but some need to be in NXT
know.
because some of those wrestlers can really evolve the younger talent that's coming up. But there's those people that are just content with where they're at. They don't want to push the boundaries.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean, look at your Warriors, look at your Savages, look at your Hogans, look at and I know I'm naming people from the golden era and a couple other, I mean, Rock, just because they wanted it. And not trying to go off and say, if you want to grab the brass ring, no, it's not about being a kiss ass. It's about pushing the limits. Yeah, okay, a little bit, just a little bit. But if you're not going to put forth the effort, what's the point of success?
hey, according to CM Punk, no one's kissed more ass than Dwayne.
He's
kissed lots of ass. But I mean, look at the ones that have made it. Look what they did to, I don't know, Sanity, Buddy Murphy, when he had his cruiserweight title, he did nothing. Enzo and Cass, the revival. I mean, they gave Joe 5 minutes of anything. Everyone else in the Wyatt family, except for Bray, until recently, because they had a great chance to let our dear lost Brody. He had the best opportunity to be. Oh, he was over as Rover, and they let Randy win the match to go and beat Bray at Mania to go and drop it to Jinder Mahal. So don't get me started on that. Apollo,
but again, prime example. Prime example though of the whole dropping it to Randy to give the Jinder. It's because
I don't care.
You know where I'm going. Not to get any kind of racial bigotry, but it's because it's business. McMahon is going to cater to make the money.
And who? I mean, guess what? Either way, if Randy put over Brody, it would have been a white guy getting murdered by the Indian guy before they broke into the network in India. So either way, it was just we needed Randy to have another title. Just like when Triple H won the Royal Rumble, or when The Rock was champion. I mean, like anytime Brock Lesnar's been champion since he came back, really, what the hell is the point then? I mean, I'm sorry. I remember when the champion was there, was there. Hell, Roman's there. Brock showed up 6 times a year.
Yeah. I mean, Roman,
and he got paid more than anyone in the damn company, by the way, by a mile.
And don't get me wrong, Roman fits the mold for.
He's great at it right now.
He's there every night. He's there every night. Most of the time his title's defended on a pay-per-view. The thing I love Drew being champion, but the whole I'm going to defend it wherever, whenever that gets old. It gets boring.
Except for when Cena was doing
same thing with
the US title.
Same thing with Lashley. I think he's defended it twice now. It was Miz.
Don't even get me started on Lashley showing up contract, signing with girls all over. Like what? I have more charisma on my pinky finger to pull that off than Lashley ever could in his entire life. I don't know how. I mean, he did get Crystal, so I mean,
I just like the fact that they're utilizing the championships on Raw every once in a while. Mostly pay-per-views, the way it should be, giving proper builds. It just sucks at the fact that Raw, it's the same shtick over and over because there's no one there. SmackDown, yes, it's Reigns and he's facing this guy and that guy and this guy, but they know how to properly build each story to every single pay-per-view.
They can do it on there, which means they could do it on the other shows.
Prime example, Roman shows up, throws Dominic out of the ring, beats the crap out of him, sets up the father defending the son, and Hell in a Cell. There you go. Easy story. Bam. There you go.
That's it. They're making it. Just like, and I'm calling it right now. It's going to be Cena and it's going to be Reigns at SummerSlam. They're going to build something up, and it only takes with Reigns. It only takes 2 or 3 weeks, and you got something. Cena comes out, says a few things. Roman comes out, says a few things. We already know they have on Aussie because they're Vince McMahon's boys from Golden Boys from back in the day. But you've got Reigns as a heel. You got Cena as a face. It works always. Always. But sorry, look at all the talent though. I mean, we just named off 8 or 9 that did good. Let's see who'd they move up too early. Apollo, who again did nothing.
Oh yeah. I mean,
hold on. Let's see. Shinsuke. What the hell did he do besides win the Rumble and then get buried? Sorry, don't speak English.
Oh no, No, I don't, sorry, not sorry. I really think AJ should have dropped the belt to Shinsuke. They could have carried that
Now,
program for
same
so
night,
long.
same night. What did they do with Asuka? Oh wait, she had to lose to Charlotte, and what the did she do for forever? Becky, before she became the man, what the did she do? Guess what? They call up 90% of these people. They do absolutely nothing with them because Roman and Randy are still there. And hell, Shane McMahon is still there. He has more WrestleMania moments in the last couple of years than some of these bastards have matches.
But he's putting people over though.
And he's doing that, but there's people on the roster that aren't even getting matches. Like that could be having the same bully thing going on there with we don't like that's why I'm angry. Hell, we had the anger you and me talking about like, are you and then Eva Marie again, like when after it was over, like we got done recording, you know, are you watching it? I turned it on. There's just her stupid face standing. Are you ready? Like, no, actually, I don't think I will ever be. She could go to the ring stark bollock naked, and I still wouldn't want to watch it. Because I remembered just how bad she was. And she's in the ring with Naomi. Why? Because Naomi will make her look really good.
Yeah.
And she won't kick her damn head off her shoulders. Or injure her. If you put her in the ring with Nia. Nia would just kill her. That's what Nia
I don't know.
does.
I think there's going to be some way around it. From what I hear in articles, she might have like a hired muscle or something, someone that's going to be with her, and I think that's where it's going to lead to. It's going to be
So it's
something.
going to be stupid on top of stupid on top of
It's going to
stupid.
be something stupid. She's going to be coming in the ring or about to get in the ring, hurt herself or
Is she
something.
going to have a
dumb.
wardrobe malfunction again?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like the
Something
last
dumb's
time we saw her going towards the ring was like, oh no, and she ran away and then she got released the next day.
Yeah, like something dumb's going to happen, and hired muscle is going to have the match with Neyman. You know, it is what it is.
I am not mentally prepared to deal with that level of stupid. By the way, that's why I don't watch it. You finally use Alistair after you throw him and Ricochet together, throw him up on the main roster in tag matches literally every night. On Raw, no, they lose. Go to SmackDown, they lose. Go to Mania, they lose. But and then what the hell did they do when they finally start using it? And they shit can him.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad they're using Ricochet and Humberto Carrillo with Chase. Finally. I think Black's probably going to get rehired. I mean,
I don't see them
90,
letting him go.
I mean, they have 90 days to bring him back.
Yeah, we got
they're gonna realize like they did with Joe, with Alistair, they're gonna bring him back.
No, they're gonna wait.
Is still there.
They're gonna wait until July because you know, the new quarter. I mean, if they run on a normal quarterly, next quarter starts in July, which means they can suddenly spend all kinds of money.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, tickets are selling out like crazy with all these live events. So you got to figure you're halfway through July when live events start. That is 2 weeks. That is 2 weeks to give you enough revenue because everyone's going to be buying tickets no matter what the price. And then all of a sudden, last 3 days in July, I'm telling you, higher, bam, done. Build up for SummerSlam. There's enough time. There's enough money. They'll do it.
Now they won't have Braun Strowman's beard though.
Yeah, apparently he, likes to trim his beard and hang out with.
The first time in 10 years.
Is that a vulture?
And Baby Tiger, I think I saw him holding the other day. I mean,
yeah.
He's doing Braun Strowman things.
Yeah.
Even though Alexa was sad, but yeah.
I honestly think he could really make it in a movie somewhere.
But that's my see, so it's not hatred. I hate what they're doing to it. Like here we go, Lana and Lashley.
Yeah, I think it's not the fact we don't hate.
I hate what they're doing.
We don't hate the product. We hate the decisions that are being made, and some of them
are shit.
Are crap. Some of them are for good reason.
Some of them
in the long run, like I can understand why they had to make the cuts. We know McMahon's getting ready to sell here soon.
Yes, but there's so many. Like they could fire so many, like 40 million people on the roster that are doing nothing. Like they can clear out the PC of people like Jake Atlas. No offense, but they're never going to use you. Go somewhere else. Be free.
Yeah.
Hell, you could have fired Lana. She says that she's going to spill all kinds of beans when her 90 days up. Like on what? Because you're worthless in the ring just about. And they still had you on TV every week.
Yeah.
You had more championship matches than like the Brooklyn Brawler
Again,
ever had.
again,
And
Lana.
she's gonna spill the beans, like all of them
Yeah,
complaining.
prime example, Lana. It's like Paul said, when you go from college to the NFL, sometimes it doesn't work, and they just do. They did that as a fan service. That's the thing. We as fans, well, not us fans, but some fans are like, oh, well, this person should be pushed. And then they get put in the stupid storylines, and then they get pissed off because they're in a stupid storyline.
Hey.
But yet they're doing the fan service to put them on the main roster to give them something, but the fans aren't even happy with it anyway.
Whoever decided that they should put, I don't know, Shinsuke lose, Asuka lose, break up Heavy Machinery,
Well, that's the thing.
be useless for sanity. Lana and Lashley.
They're doing the fans a service by pushing them to the main roster. They can't figure something out for them.
Guess what? It's not a service to the fans to put them on the main roster if they're going to do a bunch of stupid shit for 2 months and then never see them again. It's actually doing a disservice to the fans, to the performers themselves, and all they're doing is pissing everyone off. Like, hey, what? You're here. We're going to use you for about 3 weeks, and then, well, I'm going to quote Big E, get your ass back to catering. Before he told Apollo to go back to catering, and apparently he found an accent back there. Don't know what the hell he ate, but yeah, like just like Alistair, Ricochet, useless. What did they give Alistair? Finally, he got the whole Seth thing with the eye. Then they finally start doing something real. God, like sorry, like it's not a fan. It's not a service when you put them in some shitty storyline.
It's just a shuffle of money right now to the live event start.
Yeah, but sorry, like
and
what's going on that?
Hopefully, a month from now, Alistair's Black is back on the roster. And
saying, like I have moved. Like, sorry, as you said, a service. They're doing a disservice to everybody just by wasting them.
Well, I'm not saying like
there's so many people that.
I'm trying.
There's no positive spin. There's no positive.
There's no positive spin. It's fact.
They suck.
Yeah.
They sucked for a very long time.
Okay, and I totally agree. But it's like the fans are asking for certain things, and when they get part of that certain thing,
yes, but if you're going to
give it to them, they get more upset.
Don't give us a heaping pile of shit.
What they wanted in the first place.
Don't.
Okay. For example, everybody wanted Keith Lee to be pushed to the main roster. I honestly think he should have ran with the NXT title for a little bit more because he could have really worked for something like passing it on the Carrion. Would have been a great storyline.
Yeah, but it would have killed.
Would have been something believable. Would have been a phenomenal match. Still would have made Lee look strong, but they pushed him up to main roster.
Now, given a 10-minute thing, though.
Given whatever's going on health-wise or personal-wise, totally get that. But I know there was a time where McMahon had him go back and do some more training and stuff like that. Some people should not be rushed. But again, fans want to see certain people on the main roster, and then sometimes it doesn't pan out, and then they're like, oh, well, they're wasting. Like some superstars, I can understand that.
If Keith didn't get hurt, he'd still be going right now.
Yeah,
whatever the hell is wrong with him.
I think if at least they could have moved Black back down to NXT for now.
Let him go back down there and start kicking people's heads off.
Yeah. It could have been a completely different situation. I could believe Aleister Black could beat Karrion Kross, but don't get me wrong. We're going to talk about TakeOver sometime this week, but that Fatal 5-Way match made me a believer that any of those guys could take it from Kross because we know it's not going to be long till Kross is on the main roster.
So it's just, guess what they're going to do?
My opinion, they're going to cater to Karrion. They're going
right now he's over like a rubber.
They're going to put him with superstars that are going to carry him.
Hey, want to know why though? Ding, 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 ding. He's got all that and a bag of chips.
I know.
He's got the lights and all that. No offense to Adam Cole, but if I hear him say "baby" one more time, I'm going to put my head through a wall today. Then you go and do it. See? I just but so many years though. Like through all those years, think of all the people that came up. Like, look what the hell they did to the Ascension when they called them up.
Oh, I know. And
Remember the Ascension at the
there's
beginning when it wasn't even like Connor and Victor, it was dude and the other dude, and then the other dude like and then, like look how good Nova, like look at that whole the whole shebang was so good. And
oh,
then
I
they get to
know.
the main roster and you're sitting there going, "There's the
But
same
then you
guys."
get, but then again, that's an example. That is an example of bringing them up and misusing them. And also, it's the fact, and I've seen articles on it, Vince has an age problem.
Hey, I'm gonna
Connor and Victor are up there in age.
hey. So it's like, I don't know, all these guys he's paying lots and lots of obscene money to show up 10 minutes a year.
I know, but I'm just saying it's
How old is
there's that.
how old was that guy that squashed the Fiend in 3 spears?
I know.
Really and old, really. And I hate to break it to you know what he got for that? Roman backed out. That's what he got for that. And then who they put the title on immediately when he came back? Like, thanks for leaving us high and dry like 3 days before Mania.
I know.
Here's the belt back. Hmm.
I know.
But if you want, I could like to see. That's what we'll do. Now, see, congratulations. Now you're going to turn me into like it's going to be a manic Monday. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to find all the people that they called up to the main roster in just the last 4 years that they ruined.
And the thing is,
How the hell are they so good on NXT? And then there's complete
and
dog shit on the main roster.
not to play devil's advocate and not to try and defend any decisions. You
They
got to look
have
at
been for the last 30 minutes.
well, you got to look at it all angles though too. Every situation is different.
I don't care. You don't conveniently have that many people over like that in NXT,
I know, oh,
and
no,
then they
and
vanish in
I
2
totally,
months.
I totally agree. There were many NXT superstars that were way over. Do not get me wrong. I totally agree with all the ones I know you're thinking about. I totally agree. But looking at it again,
They've gotten like 10 people over, and they've wasted like 110 people.
But looking again, you know, with doing this with you, there are some things you look at as a fan and as a business aspect. And I hate looking at things at a business aspect. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's kind of it's entertaining to me to go, okay, what are they really trying to do as far as bettering the company and a financial point, or what are they doing with this or that? It's again, when you got me roped into this, I am now, the brain is now looking, it's like split, looking at two different.
Think how good business could have been if, I don't know, let's just think of one time when they pulled up the Vaudevillains. I know Simon Gotch quit, like it's a whole other thing. Enzo and Cass, I'm pretty sure there was someone else, and they did nothing with them because what the Usos or New Day, whoever it was, had to be over.
You could have had Cass and Enzo over with
and the Revival. And the Revival came up too. Like,
oh yeah.
That's just 4 tag teams in 3 seconds. We thought.
And don't get me wrong, I love the well, FDR if you watch AEW. Yes. I love what they're doing with the whole with the Pinnacle now. I mean, it's like old school kind of stable stuff, which is great. But again, Revival, another solid example of we're going to make you look great in NXT. We're going to bring you up, and then we're going to have cameras on you of you shaving that guy's back in the shower and New Day making fun of you. Like, I understand. Okay, there's they try to do comedy aspects of it, but then no one took them seriously.
Yeah, if that was their plan to help business, was to make them look like jackasses, and then no one took them credibly for the next 3 or 4 years they were on the roster and we barely ever saw them. Congratulations. Yeah. That wasn't good for business. That was getting them up there.
Wasn't. No,
shitting on them.
Totally agree.
Enzo shitting on them. Heavy Machinery. Hell, Tucker carried them for months when Otis was doing all that dumb stuff. Fired him.
No, I know.
Vaudevillain. Simon Gotch quit.
Yeah.
I never got it. I got it, but yeah. But
yeah.
And but I mean, why? Because the bar had to keep winning. Like they couldn't, they get their guys and they just bury the shit out of everyone. Just keep them all in NXT. What the hell is the point of hiring 15 people every month?
Yeah.
You're taking all these people, putting them on the roster for 12 seconds, firing them. sorry, burying them for years so no one wants anything to do with them, then firing them. And then after no one's seen them for years, because like, putting them, making them wait 90 days after you do it so they could really be screwed. Like,
I mean, they're still technically getting paid.
they are, but like, look at all these people you don't see forever. Like, they get there, you could try to be business. What good business was burying Alistair and Ricochet and
No,
the
not good.
Revival and Enzo and Cass and the Revival and Shinsuke and Kevin Owens at a time and Asuka and Becky and Bailey got buried for a long time. Naomi for a long time. Robert Roode, Joe, except for when he had those moments with AJ when that thing was really popping off and they.
Oh yeah. Well, I like AJ and back in TNA.
Me too. Like those two are just gold together.
That was like the only time I watched TNA was them and Beer Money and a couple other.
But they let them go, and otherwise, what the hell did Joe do? Okay, you see in the common trend here, we have to think really hard to find anyone that didn't get just dumped on Sanity. Look how bad that all turned out after 6 seconds. Like, it goes on. And if I actually start
read
thinking,
an article about the whole idea behind Sanity, and that really could have worked.
look
really,
what we got instead.
Yeah.
Because someone had to stick their nose in it and can't just do what we did when, I don't know, ratings were at like ungodly levels because everyone was actually getting to like be themselves.
Yeah.
Like actually themselves turned up to 11 and not reading terrible promos, which you could tell they're scripted because they're just that bad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no matter how much.
The only one I can really like truly believe that is themselves turned up to 11 like is a very select few, like Matt Riddle. That guy is just himself, like just himself. There's nothing scripted. Randy Orton himself.
I forgot what I was going with that.
Xavier Woods and Kofi and Big E themselves.
Yeah.
Like that's what the New Day was.
I honestly forgot where I was going with that. Scoots
like,
away. But look how long it took them to use what Asuka was sitting there doing. No, or 4 or 5 years, she did nothing. Like literally nothing. She had the streak. She was on fire. She got up there, and Charlotte happened. Shocker. Seems to be a current trend. And AJ happened, or Roman happened, or Seth happened, or Cena happened, or like there's just always those guys. And it's like, oh, but they happened. Usos and New Day. Like, think if they just worked with any of those guys and let them actually have a bite of the apple. Like, just see what they can do with them. Just like we said, Vince didn't think Cena was ready for the whole ruthless aggression. He didn't know what the hell. How are we going to know if you don't throw them into the water and see what they do?
Yeah,
look at all these people. They give them 10 minutes.
Like McMahon told Cena straight up, dude. After this tour, between now and the end of this European tour, you better figure something out, or you know what I mean? Like, but that's again coming back to you get what you put into it. If you got people that are content, they're going to stay there. If you want somebody that wants to achieve more success,
most of
you've
them
got to put yourself into it, no matter what, no matter how many sandwiches. I mean, look at Kane, for God's sake. How many shit sandwiches did he eat?
Yeah, except back then, when when Isaac Yankem didn't work, and then fake Diesel didn't work. See, the problem now is no one gives a shit. And Enzo and Cass were pretty much Enzo and Cass until they vanished off the face of the planet, until they split them up. Or the Revival, they're like, well, we're not going to try to make you any, but bye. Like, they don't even try to repackage people. They just see you later. But nice knowing you, buddy. Have fun in catering. Like, they've given up. I'm sorry. Like, to have this many people come and go that are like letting them be themselves in NXT, and then they get to the main roster, and somehow that many of them eat a shit sandwich. I'm sorry, you don't go from that over to buried in 2 months. Like, holy shit. Did you listen to I did it for The Rock? Hell, even the Rikishi with this big giant ass gyro here figured out how he was still like there. Like, it sucked. No one wanted to see that. But like, here, we're gonna just turn you into a bad guy. Yeah, like, do that with some of these. They don't even do that. They're see you later, bye. Go yourself. Look at Apollo. It took him getting an accent for them to give a goddamn about the guy. And he got called up, what, in Dallas? Yeah.
Yeah.
WrestleMania Dallas, he gets pulled up the next night. Had his last match on NXT. It's like second match ever, which he was like in NXT for 5 minutes. That was way too early. But
Oh, well, yeah.
and where the hell did he sit for 4 years? No one even knew he was there. He was just out there getting the shit whipped out of him by like the Hurt Business until they ruined that. Another great. There's another one they ruined. But like, I'm sorry. Like, there's just nope. I love it enough to say that I can see why 3 million plus people have abandoned ship at record numbers because the glass was half full. Now the glass is shattered on the ground. No one gives a damn. They're not going to get most of these people back because we've been eating shit sandwiches for years. That's a good phrase, by the way.
I think
Shit sandwich.
I think a difference maker will eventually be when live crowds come back, they can make their money back and hopefully get some of these releases back.
Or they could just, I don't know.
See it happening. There's two I can definitely see it happening. Black and Braun. Go get them back.
Black Braun.
I mean, I know I've seen the article. Yes, Mark Henry is stating that AEW and Braun, there might be mutual interest. But again, we're going to get halfway through now. What they were released, what, 2 weeks ago? Maybe 3?
Not
So
even.
90 days. Again, you're going to get halfway through August before SummerSlam, because SummerSlam's a little bit later this year. There's going to be enough revenue
It's
back
on a Saturday.
to hire them.
Like, it's on a Saturday.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that. Especially when it's like near the Pacquiao fight that's going on in Vegas. It's kind of weird. But
it's not weird. That's stupid.
I don't know. But
if I know one thing, it's stupid.
I think we're gonna get a lot of these guys back come
Doesn't
end of
matter if
July.
they bring them back. Hell, even before we lost people like live crowd stuff, it sucked. Like, it really sucked. Like, you came down super heavyweight after you almost died and turned your life around. Thank God for that. Because damn it, we need you around. If we watch wrestling, and I didn't watch for weeks, and I still knew what was like months at that point, and I still knew what was gonna happen. And I didn't want, like, here's a pre-show, like, that's okay, he's gonna win, she's gonna win. Boom, done.
Yeah,
and then it happened.
Really need to go on DraftKings and actually like play some other bets, because it's
like it's just
I could be a millionaire right now.
It's just so bad. Like, it doesn't matter who, like, if they don't, like, hell, like the best, like Roman takes up 5/8 of the show, and that's the only good thing about the show. And then Raw, like, nothing.
That's the only reason why I watch SmackDown.
Like 2 hours, and they only want to see one guy. That's a bad sign. That's a very bad. In the whole company, people are only watching to see one guy, and that's better. I mean, if one for the Fiend and Alexa over like the whole, like, they would have had nothing.
I think once they get Fiend back, I think that's the only reason why I'm going to watch Raw is when it's in front of a live crowd.
They suck so bad. Like, it doesn't take much to just try a little bit. I mean, like, hell, the go home episode, like the go home episode of Raw. What do you remember about that besides it sucked? Exactly. The night after Mania, which is normally, even last year, after with COVID and everything, was still a good night. They're like, oh, look, they're back. Oh, look, they're this year. What do you remember?
Bray.
Yeah, he said, see you later, bye, I'll be back. Don't you cry, I'll be back again someday. Or whatever it wasn't, he didn't start quoting them, but same thing.
Yeah.
He didn't quote Frosty. That's what we had Mick Foley for. He quoted Frosty. But what else do you remember exactly? Except I guarantee you, Drew came out and said, well, I'm not finished with you. No offense, Braun, but yeah, I mean, pretty much it's what he said. You know, like, it's just, everyone says you hate it. Like, no, I don't. Like, I really love it more than any of you do. Look how long we sit here and do this.
We just want it to be better.
We just want them to finally make some improvement. Like, instead of getting, like, every time they're like, oop, they're starting to turn it up. Then suddenly it's
it's like
step forward and 45,000 backwards.
Not to get like an emotional take on it, but we're like nursing a terminally ill person. We want them to get better, and things are still going to get down when someone's terminally ill, but you hope for the best and try to try to make the
Hey,
best of the situation.
I live my life, hope for the best and expect the absolute worst. Look at all the things that have gone down for me in the last couple of years, and I've been walking around with a smile on my face. Hell, got ran over, almost died. Was cracking jokes. The second I was like, I was cracking jokes apparently when I don't remember it, but brain the whole time, laughter, happy, made it through everything. I can't anymore. Like just on wrestling, everything else, like divorce, court, nearly died. But all of that is COVID, all this stuff. Wrestling, what it's been that bad for that long. Just for sake, just take 2 steps forward this time before you take a mile and a half back, or at least make a little bit of progress.
You might want to make that 8 steps forward.
I'll take about 8. Take walk like a New York City block forward before you go crashing back down to earth. Like it doesn't matter. Like those live crowds come back. It gives a damn. We're all going to be excited because people are going to be there.
Well, and it
Just
makes
like
it more
Mania, we're like,
organic,
it's
too.
gonna be so good because there's gonna be people. And then what the do you remember for Mania? Except sitting there going, except for Samoa Joe wearing just
And Byron Saxon's microphone not permanently not working.
that
Does it-
was about time. That was our gift from God. And the Hurricanes meme. I remember more about the Hurricanes standing outside when it was raining, making that post, that I can tell you anything that happened on the first night, except for the sound of Bianca's hair whipping Sasha.
Yeah, that definitely made the first.
Whoosh. I mean,
Yeah.
that's all I could. And Mandy fell on her ass. I think that was night 1. That's all I got. Like that's really bad. We're like, people are coming back. It's gonna be so good, and then we all sat there going,
Oh, and can't forget Hulk Hogan and Titus O'Neil.
Hulk getting booed out of the damn building.
Yeah,
Shocker.
like for real,
Booed. Like,
in a pirate costume.
I mean, was RVD on night 1 talking about his rolling papers, which I'm surprised that got over on.
Yeah,
I mean, that was just perfect. Riddle him, like just kept getting better. That was good. And then Bray doing the entrance and you getting your, wow, they really did switch that up really. How's he gonna do it? Oh, okay, like that. Boom, he's back.
that's serious. Like I'm just sitting there, I'm like, that escalated quickly. You're like, I'm thinking full blown entrance. All of a sudden, lights go out, and then it's like, I mean, they did a good job on it.
They did a phenomenal job. They made it simple to the
that
point.
was
Didn't have to worry about
probably-
anything going wrong.
Yeah,
Just done. But like, what do you remember? The entrance, the switch. What the hell else happened? Roman got a new T-shirt out of the deal. I mean, they let Edge not look like a 700-year-old man in the ring and let him actually go. I mean,
oh, you know what I remember from night 1? The Fiend not winning. That's right.
wasn't that?
Or was it night 2?
That was the beginning of night 2. They pretty much buried any chance that any of them had at having a successful night within the first 10 minutes of the show. They
Let's just piss everyone off, and maybe it'll get better throughout the night. No,
if only the guy at the
honestly, if they were going to really piss off fans, they should have made that match probably near the end of night 2, or I don't know. I don't know where they could have fit that Fiend and Orton match in to actually. You know what? They could have done it night 1 and done it before the Sasha and Bianca match. They could kind of heal the wound a little bit with the match that they both had with Bianca and Sasha had, because I probably really would have felt a little bit better, because again, the Bianca and Sasha match was utterly amazing, like 8+ freaking match, great. But you start
that's
off
what you remember though.
Start off night 2 with that, like
I can't even tell. Like, I think there might have been a Nigerian drum match that might have been night 2. I don't know. Like, I can't believe I'm even saying a Nigerian drum match with the Ugandan, with the Nigerian nail. Like, it's.
Did you know he played for the Minnesota Vikings? I didn't know that.
Well, he's ugly.
Commander Aziz played for the Minnesota Vikings.
He is ugly enough. It makes sense now.
I mean, just like Amos was a basketball,
Minnesota.
just like Amos was a basketball player.
Well, he's 18 feet tall. He doesn't even have to dunk. He just.
Apparently, he really can't teach that.
You can't.
When you've got someone bigger than Cass XL, or sorry, Morrissey, I think.
The hell it is now.
whatever they're calling him now, which he's getting a push on Impact, by the way. I'm glad they're actually doing something smart. I don't watch Impact too much, but I did watch a couple of the last matches he had. But yeah, just
I see, like I try, like
I'm not. We're not trying to sound like the piss poor fanboys, but fact is fact.
like they've been doing a very abysmal job for a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. And again,
Like
I don't like playing devil's advocate, but
shut up then.
I'm open minded.
Oh, I'm still hoping that they're gonna get their shit together, but I've been hoping that since I've been in
But
here. I've been in this place for since 2017 in this joint. So since before I moved in here, I've been hoping for that. And guess what? It's gotten worse, except for Roman Reigns being a heel.
but let's move into something. I guess negative and positive. The year of COVID. I mean,
it's already been 45 minutes. Way too.
We did get some good stuff out of COVID. I mean, we did. You know, I mean, I kind of wish this started off. I kind of wish they could have. I don't know. Not to start off on a negative note. I really wish Drew and Brock would have been in front of a live crowd, but given the circumstances,
yeah, I mean
but that was a good storyline overall from the Rumble to the crowning moment at WrestleMania. Again, it kind of sucked that the crowd wasn't there, but overall storyline wise, I think it fit very well. I went on Peacock and watched like top 20 famous title changes or whatever it was. It was like one of those quick, like 13-minute like things that they throw on like YouTube, WWE channel. But one was Brock and Drew at WrestleMania. And it was still weird. No crowd before they got the Thunderdome. But I wish they could have had the Thunderdome concept at WrestleMania. If they could have really thought about that real quick, I think it would have been different. At least some kind of more of an organic kind of feel. But it was really weird because it's like watching Drew getting ready to Claymore Lesnar for the third time before winning.
3-2.
Yeah. And just watching it, and then just there's no crowd. It felt so weird watching that again. I mean, glad the storyline worked out. Sucks there was no crowd. And also the Drew and Sheamus thing. Moving on into
those two should have been. They should have went on longer. Like that was just.
Yeah, that could have.
I still got pictures on my phone from after they were just beating the hell out of each other.
Yeah,
like they were whipping the living.
And then we got some good cinematic matches. I mean, hands down, Taker and AJ. That was the
no one
best cinematic match.
Yeah, that beat the Swamp fight. That beat.
Yeah. I mean, all the cinematic matches were.
Oh, they were good. It beat the Swamp fight.
It couldn't have worked out better for Taker.
Well, yeah.
It made sure that, I mean, given the fact that the man, punched in a limo or a Hearst freaking window and was bleeding like a stuck pig, and still I think that took 8 to 12 hours to actually do that whole match itself.
Closed him up going. Yeah, but that was the best one.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense to the other ones. Yeah.
I honestly think
I wish they wouldn't have had Metallica Now That We're Dead. No offense, Now That We're Dead. Love Metallica, love the song. It would have been nice if they could have just licensed that. They could have like badass. Or roll in just one more time. Have them roll into one and leave to the other. I don't care. There were enough dongs.
I couldn't imagine Taker and AJ in a live crowd after that cinematic match. Like I just couldn't, because everyone's like, oh, maybe they can do it next year in front of a live crowd. No, just that fit perfect for his send off for his last match. I mean,
you got to have Graves. You got to have the American Badass. You got to have everything.
The unholy trinity. That's what it was. That's what he marked it as. But I can't see any other person I would want to have a last match with other than AJ Styles, just because he's safe and he's trustworthy. Really, and I know AJ was really jabbing Taker for the longest time, and I know he's still jabbing at Paul, I would think that would really be a good match too. Like I would like to see Triple H wrestle AJ Styles for his last match, and he'd put AJ over Mania. I mean, I'd be fine with that.
And we didn't put Sting over, so
But I would, yeah. I mean, just hands down, AJ and Taker. That was
see, I'm just in that mood. And that was, but look what I had. I mean, again, the swamp fight that wasn't bad. I mean, they put everything together, and that it all made sense.
Yeah.
The Fiend Cena one. I mean, you actually had to like think more into that one, so a lot of people probably went right over
I
their head.
at first when I watched it live after the match, I'm like, I went through before I rewatched it again. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Let me watch it one more time. Like each time I watch that, like you have a more understanding,
Yeah.
a deeper appreciation for what he was trying to put across.
But I'm
Like,
just saying, people that aren't you and me, like, they probably had no idea what half of that even was.
yeah.
Like,
I mean,
there's too much thinking.
I got the gist of everything watching the first time, but it happened so fast.
Yeah. Again, a lot of people probably didn't pick on.
You didn't get a chance to really process it.
I liked it. Again,
Yeah.
hey, that was great.
I understood everything that they were throwing down, but
I got it.
I watched it. It's like a work of, it's like going to an art museum and going to the same picture that you really, really like, and then deeper appreciation, better understanding, and go, didn't see that the first time. Even though everything that was referenced, we knew where they were coming
Yeah.
from.
Say, but as I said, hey, I loved it. I just know there's probably a lot of people that were going, excuse me, what? And but they were all good for a change. I mean, that beat the House of Horrors match. That was yeah. So they did a good job with that last year.
Yeah.
I can't take that away from them. I mean, Nigerian Nail, not so much. That was a this year's thing. Don't care, but I was still under COVID.
We touched on cinematic and Fiend stuff. Alexa Bliss really taking the ball and running when the Fiend was set on fire. Like that's been her best stuff ever, hands down.
I get angry and people are shitting on her for it. Like that's the best thing they had going for months.
Yeah.
She carried it.
Still the whole Lily thing, I'm sort of excited, but it's a slow growing kind of thing. I'm interested to see where they go with it. I think Shayna Baszler is probably the best thing or the best person right now to utilize. Just for the fact there's not many quote unquote threats to the women's title. You know what I mean?
Sadly, it's just the way they built it all, though. I mean, it's the mess they got themselves into.
But you can really make Shane. I mean, I know Shayna is supposed to be like unbeatable, heavy duty monster MMA machine, but with her character, if you can make her in the even the smallest aspect look human, you got a good storyline.
Yeah.
Because I see where they're going with it, and just bear with me here. I think they're going to utilize Shayna in the way there's something from her childhood or her life memory that's going to be incorporated with this Lily doll and everything else. They're going to get to her. Or Alexa's going to get to Shayna, and okay, now we see a human side. So then it twists the story, makes the story more compelling.
Makes people give it more.
Yeah, not just Baszler stomping on a doll and Alexa gets upset and mauls her. Like they're trying to really push for a story, and I think more people are going to be more apt to see what happens.
And more people are going to be in
when they hit that nerve.
Yeah, people they'll be all over that. So I'm not.
Yeah,
I'll never argue that. And making Shayna look human after. I mean, she already looked human during the shopping spree with Reggie. I had the same exact expression on my face that she did. Like this is what's getting 10 minutes of airtime. This.
But I think they're also pulling Baszler away from all that.
I know, but
and I think Nia's. I don't know what they're going to do with Nia.
Send her somewhere else. No one will miss her.
Like if they were seriously, I mean, and I know we were calling it, it's going to be Nia and Shayna, and I'm kind of glad they didn't, because it would have been like Lana going through like 70+ tables every week, so it would have been that entertaining.
It was only not entertaining when she was in shorts. For making this 100% honest, but yeah, I think that thing will be good. Just depends on what they do with it. But Alexa carried, no offense to the rest of the thing, but Alexa, that was really where the excitement was.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, literally, what else did they have going on Raw?
Yeah.
The Hurt
true.
Business, which they
Well,
murdered at that point.
my next point, Hurt Business. Unfortunately,
For the 8
we're
minutes it
still
lasted,
very sour from that.
for the 8 minutes it lasted before they decided to kill that, that made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Put it together, they're all dominant, you're fired. Bye. You're kicked out. It's kind of like Lashley, saying, I don't need y'all's help, and then going and putting a hit out on Drew
I still
McIntyre. Doesn't make a
would have had Benjamin and Alexander win the tag titles. I mean, hell, I mean, I know MVP was kind of hurt, so he was kind of like the Ric Flair of the group.
Right,
Not to
he's good at
compare
it.
to fast. But I guarantee if MVP wouldn't have, you could have brought up a lot of talent to just start to compete and get their feet wet and eventually disband the Hurt Business, not as quickly. I mean, they could have played off the whole Evolution thing. They could have had, well, I mean, Benjamin's kind of in like the Bautista kind of role because he's still young enough but not too old. I mean, you could have had Benjamin and Lashley after for so long, or a year after or something. Like you could have mirrored Evolution down to a T. Just a different faction. And you could have made good storylines if the proper people outside the Hurt Business were brought into storylines.
How about we go legacy instead of Evolution? Might be kind of insulting to Evolution. I mean, how many titles did Triple H win before that one? He didn't. Ric Flair. I mean, look what Batista and Randy turned into. No offense to Cedric or Shelton or MVP. Hell, even Lashley. You can combine all their title reigns. Pretty sure Ric Flair still has more world title reigns than they have title reigns total, like combined. We'll go with
I'm not talking like mirroring Evolution.
I know. I'm just saying.
But like
they could have done a nation thing. Could have done a nation thing. It would fit perfectly right now.
Yeah.
Instead, they decided to waste Shelton. And I just don't like hearing. I just don't.
Shelton again.
They wasted him the first time he was there. They wasted him again.
Come back 10 years later, and history's going to repeat itself. Thanks.
It's the same thing over and over again. So, yeah, that's part of my big problem that we talked about for a very long time, really, about 40 minutes or so. They keep doing that.
You could have had Shelton team up with what's his name? Chad Gable. Would have been fit.
Perfect.
Two different generations. The older generation teaching the younger generation.
I thought they were together at one point.
Was that Benjamin and Gabe?
I believe it was. I don't know. I didn't watch it because it sucked. I mean, I watched it.
I honestly, I have to say, I don't remember. Maybe they were. I don't know.
I believe they were for a minute.
It was very short then.
Well, just like everything that they do right now. Yeah. Very short. Very, very short. The Hurt Business should have been around for forever.
Another positive thing over COVID.
EO?
NXT in general, really.
They carried the ball.
Yeah, they really.
Until they moved to Tuesday night, they carried the ball. Like they picked up the ball and they beyond ran with it. They stood and delivered.
Big fan of Dunn. Big fan.
You just pronounce his name.
Yeah, just overall, it really revitalized my love for wrestling.
NXT, they were on point.
NXT, I hate to say it, and Roman Reigns and what he's doing, and when the Fiend comes back, those are the three things that honestly are fueling doing this because it's good wrestling. Said it a million times. Doesn't matter what the story is. There could be no story as long as there's good wrestling.
Yeah, like guess what? What carried us through COVID?
I cannot wait for you to watch that fatal 5-way match from last night.
Yeah,
like you're gonna fall in love again with that type.
Like I said, this
is why I'm breathing because I have children and a wife and a purpose, obviously. But just it'll give you that feeling. Like it'll give you that feeling of warrior wanting to shake the ropes and get all hyped up. Like,
but it's NXT takeover. Like,
yeah.
That's why I watched them for, because I know it's the only thing that's actually worth a damn besides Roman's big ass white teeth.
That's what's keeping WWE afloat. It's like sucks, takeover, great, sucks, takeover. Hey, I fell in love again. Sucks. Hey, look, it's like a yeah, it's a
There's no offense to even
vicious
the stuff in
cycle.
between the takeover and this one, like between stand and deliver and last night. I mean, there
Yeah.
was some good stuff. I'm
Oh
not
yeah,
gonna
there
say there wasn't
always
good stuff.
is.
It's just there's so much bad. Like there's one good and just like a bunch of
As as I said, like NXT last night, overall A plus, and I'm not kidding. Raquel Gonzalez has come a long way. Like she actually, I feel,
wrestle.
showed that she could wrestle. Yes. Now, I mean, now given she is with Braun Strowman in real life, so there's a lot of, I think there's a lot of teaching there that Braun is doing with her because she is a taller woman, and he's a tall guy. I think being able to really utilize your strengths and weaknesses, she's coming along, and I think so
Yeah,
far
I
last
didn't
night
even know that.
was her best match.
I didn't know that her and Braun stuff, but I don't pay
Yeah,
attention
I
outside the
saw
ring.
it. I saw it this morning because
Uh,
Braun had insta something about uh rent free. It was like quote unquote rent free. That's all he said, and I something whatever. But
Yeah,
so we
I
covered NXT. So that's
just except like I just don't know what happened to them once they hit Tuesday night. I don't know. They seemed to fall
yeah.
flat a little bit. They weren't.
Or maybe
They were
or maybe
still better than everything else.
or just
They
maybe
just took a
maybe that
notch back.
maybe the fact that now we've got Raw on Mondays, we got NXT on Tuesdays, and it's like Raw sucks so bad that our expectation for NXT is starting to become the same thing. That I think that day break in between, it's like I felt that
You get
okay,
all that.
I've got something to look forward to.
Yeah, you get it
Okay,
all out of your system before
yeah,
NXT comes on.
yeah. So maybe that's it. I don't know. I mean, not every NXT every week is
It's
good,
great.
but I still have a better appreciation for
Oh,
the
I have
product.
better for that.
Yeah,
Product is far superior. It's just I don't know.
yeah,
It just seemed like they turned the knobs a little back after Stand and Deliver.
yeah.
I don't know. To me, like it's still the best thing they have going. So except for
Oh
Roman's
yeah.
big white teeth. Yeah, there's a big old white teeth. I mean, look at all the memes that were created just after he came back and held the title over. Like, what the hell? But yeah, like they got it going. Again, they held the whole company together for a very long time. So
Yeah. But so obviously on the reins and Paul Heyman, there's nothing else to say. We've said it many and many, many times. That has
he,
really
he
carried
is now,
the storytelling of wrestling.
except for that one time. Except for that one damn key. God, I wish he would have just punched the referee in the face. Like that's all you had to do was just run over and just
Yeah.
instead of him just stopping at 6.
Hmm.
And we're all just sitting there going,
I mean, he literally could have busted out
7. Could have filled up an air mattress and took a
or
nap.
or you know what they could have you know what they could have done? They could have done something like ridiculous, like Kevin Owens shows up at the table and like a tea set and sets the table, and just I mean that would have been hilarious.
But
That they could have capitalized on something.
yeah, see, like they could have put. I mean, as good as they are at killing time,
Kevin Owens, I'm going to sell a low blow for like 10 minutes, dude.
yeah, like that was the one blip out of all that. Like,
Yeah.
like why? Like he could have just.
Whatever.
Overall, it was great. Overall, it's been fantastic.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. But
Yeah.
6, and we're all sitting there watching, going 7.
Something.
Bueller. I mean, just something. Like, goddamn, say something. Don't just stop. Hit him.
Yeah.
Something. Don't just have.
And then he decided to finally grab the referee by the shirt and just knock him out for no apparent reason after the fact he stopped counting. But
and there's someone yelling for backstage. Hit him. Hit him.
You could have just done that in the first place. Just
Like
not wait around and go,
6.
okay.
Like 6. Just they could have saved that whole because that match was gold.
Oh yeah.
Everyone was on the edge of their seats, and it's like 6.
me go make a sandwich.
Like he's still like he's still laying down. He's still holding his gens. He's not counting. Like that was their one blip the whole time. And yes, and Jay tried to talk.
Like, why? First of all, why did you use real handcuffs? Like, you still could have pulled that.
Could have had the trick cuffs. All you gotta do is like, oh shit, it's not working. Push the little thing and it comes open anyway. Like that's all you had. Like, that was, I don't know, the one blip.
Yeah.
It was a hell of a match, regardless. Like I still go back and love watching it, regardless of just sitting there going, say something.
But then the culmination of bringing it to the last thing I have to mention as far as COVID, Jimmy Uso shirt. When you have a article of clothing that makes your year of COVID
Hey,
enjoyable.
hey, I mean, nothing beat head of the table, right hand man, nobody's bitch.
I'd buy all three of them.
Hell, I'd have one right now wearing it the whole time. Well, it might be someone's. Like technically, theoretically, I'm the dogs and the cats, but they're not a person, so I guess yep, nobody.
Yeah.
Touche. But that shirt was the great. Like I don't even care what they do the rest of the time. Like they could have gave Jay a microphone, and had him talk for like 10 minutes, and I still would have been laughing and okay just because of that shirt.
Yeah.
And we all know Jay can't talk to save his damn life. Jimmy came back wrong. Oh yeah, he really is that bad. Wish I could whistle right now, but damn, he sucked.
Well, and it's funny because it makes you think, man, Jimmy did do a lot of the talking.
Makes you go back and
Magic
watch it.
Lie. couldn't have guessed why on that one.
But that was there was a good year in EO. I think she did a good job carrying the women's division NXT. But
yeah, and I can
Roman.
see I can see Xia Li really carrying that torch too. I would love to see those two fight. I mean, don't get me wrong, the takeover match last night, with her and Martinez was very good. That was like any NXT women's match, really.
They're always, I mean,
yeah. Good. Yeah.
Like again, EO carried it, and everyone's really been picking up the ball and going with it. Like that, they have the best women's division in wrestling, really. I mean,
yeah, honestly, yeah.
So
if they could just get a hold of that tag team division, man, they just could. I mean, not NXT.
I know SmackDown.
Yeah.
Women's, and I don't know. Just give us. You just make any tag division good. Can we just do that?
Yeah. Well, that's the sad thing. I don't think SmackDown has any tag teams. If all else fails, they'll put Sasha and Bailey back together. Yeah.
Don't even go there because you know they will. They've only done it 957,000 times. Why wouldn't they do it again? That's their old go-to. First, you don't succeed, just stick them back together, and then we'll just wait for like 6-7 months and see who's going to turn on who. Like pretty much what we do every time. That's what they build it all on. Sasha's going to turn on Bailey. Oh no, Bailey turned on. Oh no, yeah. At least they flipped the script this time. Yeah. That was a good change of pace.
And then Charlotte inserts herself into a triple threat. Yeah,
Worst things about COVID: Charlotte Flair, Nia Jackson Reginald, Charlotte Flair. No matter what, she's just there. Granted, she can talk, she can wrestle. Does she have to?
It's just redundant.
Like for the love of God, like they finally gave Asuka a title reign for a week and a half before the triple threat going into Mania to headline, just to give Charlotte the title going into it, just she could be literally just it's just so the title's in the thing. Like, what's the point of giving Asuka the title in the first place? Then, like, hey, you got a reign for 8 seconds.
Yeah, they could have just put, or at least they could have put Asuka in the main event. It would have been more believable.
Didn't need like 3 people that we could like. It's I say Charlotte Flair, like, and I know she could talk on the mic better than most, all of them. She's really good in the ring, but for the love of God, she's been in every main event. Ever. I'm pretty sure there's a 4-month span where she got 4 title reigns because she beat Sasha at the pay-per-view. Sasha would beat her on Raw, and then they'd go back and she'd beat her at the pay-per-view, and then she'd beat her on Raw. Like, they just kept feet. There you go. Like, I'm sorry. Like, no. Look how many people have been wasted and haven't ever even, like.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they released this person. I forgot that they were even
I
around.
ain't gonna
Why?
lie,
Because
that's why I hope NXT doesn't send any of the women to the main roster. Just keep them.
please, for the love of God, pretty please. We love you long time. Actually, no, I won't, because you're gonna screw it up. But you can have a dream. Everybody's got a dream. What the guy said, a pretty woman while he was in the street screaming, "Welcome to Hollywood. What's your dream?" You to shut up. Maybe me to shut up. It's never gonna happen. This is Drew's fault. He had me just turned up for like a week. Probably never even get to this episode, but you know what? He'll if he does. Like, yep, that was me. Yes, as a matter of fact, that was
And
all
it,
you.
it boils down to an old man that just won't let it go. It's a analogy. I have to give a shout out to my friend Jessica Bohanic. It's his decisions is like somebody trying to pull on a push door. Just won't work.
Like, hold on, a Vince idea that didn't work. Hold on. Stopping a Hell in a Cell match. Or here's a good one. Having the red lights on after you painted the cell red for that match. Because you know that made a real good visual for everyone to try to see.
Oh, they wanted
Just put
maybe
a so the red
Vince thought
just blends
Stevie
in with the
Wonder
red.
would like to see. Maybe Vince thought Stevie Wonder would like to see that.
But let's stop the match.
That's too extreme. It's called Hell in a Cell for a reason.
Yeah.
Like I could understand like
Then he climbs back up and he goes through the fucking thing. And then they still send him out there after that to try to attack Kane with the chair. I mean, I don't know how the hell Mick was even still like moving, but like, yeah, no, let him go back out there. Let's screw it.
like
He's fine.
I could understood if Seth had like an ice chisel or something about to stab him.
Dude,
Okay, that's different than I'm going to put a chair on you and I'm going to throw a toolbox on you and then I'm going to hit you with the chair and then the match is going to stop. Like if you really wanted to go there to stop the match, we should have made a
I'm pretty sure since then we saw screwdrivers go into people's gauged ears and spun to no end and yanked on. Triple H in the set of pliers to dude's nose, ripping out rings and stuff. Oh, and wait, they literally held the camera on the Fiend for like 2.5 minutes while he was fully engulfed in flames.
But we're going to stop a match because we don't know how to tell a story.
Like they literally held the camera on him. It probably wasn't 2.5 minutes, but goddamn, were you sitting there going, "They're gonna pan to something else?" And then nope, they got the guy right there on ringside, like in between the first and second rope, just staring at his whole body. But well, we got to stop a Hell in the Cell. Yeah. There's a clap for you, Jackaloon. But see, I think that went well after I got my tirade out of the way. So we got 40 minutes of me just being pissed off. We got a good half hour of over a half hour of pleasantries.
Yeah.
And a shout out to Io because, man, did she hold down the division. She worked with everybody, big, small, tall, doesn't matter. She was out there doing her damn thing. So good for you, Io. Deserved it. And I like her intro. Intro? The hell does that even mean? I just like it. It was a good package, but she needed time off, which is probably why she dropped it in the first place. I mean,
oh yeah. I mean, when you're going like that all year round, yeah,
you need time. It's like KO after he was diving off of everything at Royal Rumble. I mean, everything. You name it. He kind of went off of it or through it. Like everyone needed their break. Like really, again, if we're back onto that, I think that's really all Braun's getting is a break. Alistair, still getting paid, but we're not going to beat the shit out of you. Even though Alistair, like, you're still going to pay him.
I said it's just to me. I think those are the two that will come back.
Oh, they will. But if you're still going to pay him, then
I could see why they're both not being utilized.
I could see Braun. Braun needs the break, so he doesn't get
Well, yeah, but you have to
Hurt again,
realize
but
both of them, they have, again, mental health awareness. We're all
oh
about it.
yeah,
They both do.
I bet you
Um,
Black felt a
and
lot worse when he got fired.
I think again, not to go back to live crowd, I think we can get a better organic story with both of them when there's a crowd.
But see, Braun, I see it. We barely saw Alistair.
I know.
Like it was like 98% vignettes, which they could have just kept doing as they're still paying him now anyway. They could do all of them in one goddamn day. We don't have to see him for a
Well,
couple months.
I'm sure they have them just
Instead of, yeah. So then, hey, he's back. And suddenly they start, that just looks stupid. He's back and here's the character again. Yay. Like he didn't, like his firing never even happened. Sorry, his release.
But with Black,
That's done.
Black, they could really incorporate the whole being released thing
The,
back into a vignette that has to do with father.
yeah, it's
Like,
just,
I think that I could see that happening.
like he said, like, I was just working on this stuff and boom, like you were, people were actually talking about you and they're still paying him. That's the problem. Like you're released, but we're still going to pay you. But you could have just told his ass to go home, released all the vignettes for another couple of weeks, and no one would have known the difference, and half the wrestling world wouldn't have like exploded out of both ends.
Yeah.
Stupid. Like if you're still paying him, roll the vignettes and don't tell anybody. Just say, see you in a couple months. Bye.
Yep.
See you when live crowds come back. Peace. Vignette. Like Braun, I mean, the way he was going, there's no reason. Like him, what the hell are they going to do with him? Keep him off the TV. Like Black, though, you could have kept, like, it's just,
oh yeah,
like they released him, but they're still paying him the same amount of money that they would have any way. Which is why it is stupid. They could have just got rid of people that they're never ever going to do anything with. Here's one: Jake Atlas, Jackson Riker. I mean, no offense, they're not going to do anything with them. I don't know why the hell everyone cut their beard this week. I mean, Braun goes and says, "Look, I haven't done this. I've done this in 10 years." And then suddenly there's Otis, Jackson Riker, like the whole, except for Elias, for now. Like that, it was like when we were in Iraq and the colonel told everyone they had to get rid of their damn mustaches, except for me. I got to keep mine somehow, but it's only, like, what the happened around here? Why? Like, did you fire everyone's hair?
Maybe.
Like, sorry, what everyone has to, like, all beards must go.
Good luck to them in their future endeavors.
Otis without a beard is just like Michael Moore looking, just, I don't know, it's creepy, but
there was some,
I saw memes. That was that him, or was that guy from that movie? I was like, yeah, like, but don't ever send me that picture again.
Two words, Barbasol can.
Just terrifying, but yeah, it was a good one. I hate my lighting. Like I haven't moved anything. I feel like I'm glowing in the dark.
No, you're good.
Like this whole, like, damn, this backwards, like that whole thing, like nothing's different, but my left side, right side, if you're letting me, who knows, right, this thing's going backwards, but it looks like I'm glowing in the dark. I'm like, I can't even barely see my tattoo. It's still there, boys and girls, but I don't get it. But it was a good one. Went over an hour, went longer than we wanted. It'll be uploaded tonight, tomorrow, Monday, depending on how long it takes to convert, because it was moving slow last time on me. But we'll carry this on, have another good conversation about something.
Yeah.
So until that
definitely take over.
Definitely take over.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry, I'll watch it like 2 or 3 times tomorrow. Make up for my own whatever. Call it what you will.
Streaming capabilities.
At the time, yes. Busy man. Really. But we'll do it again tomorrow.
Yes.
Yep. You're stuck. Ain't going nowhere. You're doing it.
We'll do something.
We're going to talk about. We'll talk about Takeover for a year.
Yeah, but we'll do.
So we could talk
wrestlers
about.
That should have got world title shots, or should have been world champion, WWE champion. Sorry, WWE champion.
We'll figure it out though.
Yeah, or something. We got rivalries. We got tag team rivalries. We've got.
I could just run my suck about $1 million champions. and how much I hate Cameron Grimes. I mean, we could kill like 20, 30 minutes of me just hating Cameron Grimes easily. I could do that in my sleep. I don't know if I talk in my sleep, but Cameron Grimes, I mean, if there's anything I'm going to talk about hating, it's him. A stupid, stupid face. But until we get back there, I will always be Ski.
And I'm Justin.
We will do this again tomorrow. Peace.